So good day, Coach Jude and classmates. I am Ruby Jane Rosales from Bitoled IA1B, also the little teacher of Study Hub number 7. So my role in this video presentation is to introduce my peer group and their assigned topics. And along with that is I will also discuss my topic, which is forms of learner-centered classroom organization, procedures, and physical structures, specifically the room structuring and classroom routines and procedures. So now let's go on to the introduction of members. So first we have Mudifa A. Pata, and her assigned topic is also about the forms of learner-centered classroom organization, procedures, and physical structure, specifically the social environment, which include the fairness, respect, care, and encouraging learning, and also the creating motivating learner environment. So in this, Ms. Mudifa will delve or discuss to you on how should the teacher foster the fairness and respect, also on how to take care of their students inside the classroom, and also on how should the teacher create a motivating learning environment inside the classroom. So next, we have Mr. Faikon A. Bani, and his assigned topic is learner-centered classroom, specifically the roles and responsibility of teachers and students. And the third is Miss Danica May Francisco. So her assigned topic is the role of discipline in learner-centered classroom, specifically the collaborative class norms and logical consequences. So the last one is Miss Hani A. Bais, and her topic is also in line with the role of discipline in learner-centered classroom, and specifically she will discuss the consistent application, student-specific, time for resolution, and calm spaces. So that was my study hub group and their assigned topic. So before going on to my next topic or my topic, let's have first the recap of previous topic, which is the learner-centered psychological principles. So in this, we have discussed the 5 principles of psychological, and these are the cognitive and metacognitive, motivational and affective factors, developmental and social factors, individual differences, and legal and policy framework, and learner-centered teaching. So now let's go on to what is the cognitive and metacognitive factors. So the cognitive refers to the mental processes that involves in knowing, understanding, and learning, while the metacognition is the awareness and understanding of one's own thoughts processes. Essentially, it's about thinking about thinking. So next is the motivational and affective factors. So the motivational is the internal or external forces that initiate, direct, and sustain goal-oriented behavior. So the example of this is the achievement or the extrinsic rewards, and also the intrinsic, which the interest of the student, and the affective is emotional that influences individuals' perceptions, attitudes, and responses to stimuli. So example of this are the joy, excitement, fear, sadness, anxiety, or self-esteem. So next we have developmental and social factors. So these are the various influences and characteristics that shape individuals' growth, development, and social interaction throughout their life. So the individual differences, it is the variation and unique characteristics that distinguish one person from another, including traits, abilities, and behaviors. So next we have the legal and policy framework and learner-centered teaching. So this is particularly in the Philippines. And this is the RA Order Public Act 10533, particularly the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, in short, the K-12 program. So that was the previous topic. Now let's move forward to the next topic. But before we discuss that, let me first discuss to you our learning objectives. So by the end of the lesson, learners will be able to identify various forms of learner-centered classroom organization based on learners' needs. Next, define the classroom procedures and routines that promote discipline and fairness. And lastly, describe the roles and responsibilities of the teachers and the learners. So now let's go on to my topic, which is the forms of learner-centered classroom organization, procedures, and physical structure, particularly the room structuring and the classroom routines and procedures. So what is room structure? So room structuring refers to the intentional design and organization of a physical learning space to promote effective teaching, learning, and student engagement. So it involves arranging the physical elements of the room, such as furniture, technology, and materials to create an environment that supports the learning objectives and needs of the students. It can be done through seating arrangement. From structuring, we have this following or can be done inside the classroom, and these are for individualized learning, for group learning, and activity-oriented classroom. So for individualized learning, this is a setup of learning centers or station for students to work at their own pace depending on their abilities and interests. And for the group learning, this is organized by tables or clusters of desks. It can be done through groupings for cooperative learning. And lastly, for the activity-oriented classroom, this is a setup by a large table for cooperative project. You can provide a space for wet or messy project. So, the next one is the classroom routines and procedures. So the classroom routines and procedure, it is a creating consistent routines for common classroom events like getting attention, correcting homework, excusing oneself, posting visuals, updating on missed lessons, break time, and clearing desks. It helps maintain order and frees teachers to focus on instruction. Establishing routines is not that difficult. For teachers who are strict and non-negotiating, establishing a routine sent a message to the student that they should cooperate in maintaining order in the classroom. So according to Erlinda Di Serrano and Ana Ruby M. Paez, classroom events that can be routinized are the following. So first is the getting attention of students to respond to a particular question or reaction. So it can be done through calling names, randomly. So next we have correcting homeworks in class. Next, excusing oneself from class for emergency purpose or use of comfort room. Next is posting of visual aids on the board. And the last one is updating oneself of the lessons when absent in class. And that's all. That will be all. The next presenter is Miss Madifa Ipeta. Thank you.
Good day, Coach Jude. Good day, classmates. I am the second presenter. I am Modifa Aipata. Today, I will continue our discussion. First, a quick recap of Ruby Jane Rosales' presentation. Ruby Jane effectively covered room structuring for both individualized and group learning, mentioning the benefits of flexible seating arrangements for different learning styles. She also highlighted the importance of establishing clear routines and procedure for efficient classroom management. Building on Ruby Jane's excellent presentations, I will now focusing on two additional crucial aspects of successful learning environment: the social environment and creating motivation. For point 3, I will explore how fairness, respect, care, and encouragement contribute to a positive learning atmosphere. Then, for 4 point, I will discuss strategies for creating a motivating learning environment, focusing on student engagement and providing constructive feedback. So, fairness implies that all individuals are treated equitably and impartially with equal opportunities and access to resources. There is no bias or prejudice in how people are treated or assessed. Fairness means ensuring everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed, even if they need different support. This is not just equal treatment, but equitable treatment. Okay, equitable treatment. For example, a student with dyslexia might need extra time on tests or access to assistive technology. A fair system provides these accommodations, ensuring everyone can demonstrate their understanding. Okay, number 2, we have respect indicates that all members of the learning communities value and acknowledge each other's worth, dignity, and contributions. This includes active listening, consideration, behavior, and tolerance of diverse perspectives. Um, respect respect goes beyond politeness. It's valuing diverse viewpoints and creating a safe space for sharing. For instance, a teacher might actively solicit opinions from quieter students, ensuring everyone feels heard and valued during class discussions. This also includes respecting different learning styles, paces, and styles. Okay, number 3, care. Care suggests a sense of concern and support for the well-being of all learners. This involves empathy, understanding, and a willingness to help others succeed. Showing care means prioritizing student well-being. It's about understanding their emotional needs and creating a supportive environment. For example, if a student seems stressed or upset, might offer a private conversation to check in and provide support or connect them with the school resources. Okay, the number 4 is encouraging learning. This emphasizes the importance of fostering a learning environment that motivates and inspires individuals to actively engage in the learning process. It involves providing positive reinforcement, constructive feedback, and opportunities for growth. Okay? Okay. Okay? Encouraging learning goes beyond simple praise. It's about creating an engaging environment that caters to different learning styles. For example, okay, a teacher might offer a choice of projects, allowing students to select topics that align with their interest, or incorporate group work to encourage collaboration and peer learning. Okay, providing constructive feedback focus on improvement is also crucial. Okay, creating a motivating learning environment refers to design and implementing a learning space and experience that actively engages students and encourages them to want to learn. It's about more than just providing information. It's about fostering a settings where students are intrinsically motivated to participate, explore, and achieve their learning goals. Um, this involves considering various factors such as um, students' engagement, relevance, and purpose. Positive learning climate, challenging yet achievable goals, feedback and recognition, and anatomy and choice. Okay? Number one, student engagement. Activities and methods that actively involve students rather than passively receiving information. And the next one is relevance and purpose. Connecting learning to students' lives and interests. Showing the practical applications of knowledge. Okay? The number four is positive learning climate. Creating a supportive, inclusive, and respectful atmosphere where students feel safe to take risks and ask questions. The next is challenging yet achievable goals. Setting learning targets that are ambitious but attainable, fostering a sense of accomplishment. The next is feedback and recognition. Providing constructive feedback and celebrating successes to reinforce learning and motivation. And the last one, we have the autonomy and choices. Giving students some control over their learning process, allowing them to choose activities or projects that align with their interest. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day, Coach Jude. I am Paikon Ivanin from Study Hub number 7. Today, I'm going to talk about the learner-centered classroom and the rules and responsibilities of teachers and learners in this setup. A learner-centered classroom focuses on students' needs, interests, and learning styles. Instead of the teachers simply delivering information, students take an active role in their learning. Let's break up. Let's break down the roles of both teachers and learners. So first, the role of teachers. In a learner-centered classroom, teachers act as a facilitators rather than just information providers. Their responsibilities include: first, we have recognizing different learning style. Every student learns differently, so teachers must adapt their methods. And the second one, providing structure without being too strict. Guide, Guidance is given, but students have the freedom to explore. The third one, learning, listening and respecting students' opinions. Teachers value students' perspective and discussions. And number four, encouraging shared decision making. Students are involved in deciding how they learn best. And the last one, for the role of the teachers, asking open-ended question. So, instead of giving direct answers, teachers help students think critically and find their own solutions. So let's proceed to the role of the learners. So, role of the learners, students also have important responsibilities in this type of classroom. They should be active participants. Learning is not just about listening, but also engaging in discussions and activities. The second one, make decisions about their learning. They choose methods and strategies that work best for them, or also just like me, for us students. And number three, build on what they already know. Learning is about connecting new knowledge to past experiences. And number four, assess their progress. So students should reflect on their strength rather, and areas for the improvement. And number five, monitor their learning strategies. They should develop ways to improve their own learning process. And the last rules of the learners, which is they work together with others. This is also a essential for us as students, just like me. Collaboration with classmates help deepen understanding. So, in conclusion, in a learner-centered classroom, both teachers and students have important roles to play. Teachers guide and teachers guide and support, while students take responsibility for their own learning. In this approach, make this education more meaningful and help students develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day, Coach. I am Danica Mayam Francisco. The topic that given to me is all about the role of discipline in learner-centered classroom. In learner-centered classroom, discipline play a crucial role in fostering a positive and productive learning environment. Rather than focusing solely punishment, effective discipline in this context emphasize creating and shared understanding of classroom. Expectation to collaborative norms established with student input. The goal is not simply to control behavior but to teach self-regulation, responsibility, and problem-solving. These skills empowering the student to take ownership of their learning and contribute to a respectful community. Collaborative class norms. Collaborative class norms are the role and expectation for behavior within the classroom that develop collaboratively by the teacher and student. The norms themselves often focus on respect, collaboration, responsibility, and active participation, creating a positive and productive learning environment. Logical consequence. Logical consequence are the disciplinary approach where the consequence of misbehavior directly related to the action itself. So, this approach emphasizes learning from mistake and making amends, focusing on repairing harm caused by the misbehavior and promoting responsibility.
So good day everyone, my name is Hani Jill A. Baez and we are going to continue Mudipapata's topic, which is the role of discipline in learning-centered classrooms. Number 3, which is the consistent application for effective learning. So what is effective consistent application? Consistent application means the inconsistency undermines trust and fairness, leading to confusion and resentment among students. So teachers need to be mindful of their own biases and ensure that discipline is applied equally to all students, regardless of their background or learning style. So effective discipline in a learner-centered classroom is not about control. It's about creating a supportive and structured environment where students can thrive by collaboratively establishing rules, focusing on behavior rather than character. So this means applying consequences, consistency, and utilizing restorative practices. Teachers can cultivate to a classroom that empowers students while maintaining a productive learning space. So consistent application of this principle is not merely a strategy, it is also a cornerstone for successful learner-centered classroom. So moving on to the next type is a student-specific approach. So this topic explores the importance of student-specific discipline strategies in learning-centered environments. So what does it mean? Implementing student-specific discipline requires significant time and effort. Teachers needs to be adequate training and support to effectively assess individual needs, develop IBPs, and differentiate consequences collaboration with parents or guardians. Special education staff and other support personnel is crucial for successful implementation. So, saying that a student-specific approach to discipline is essential for creating a truly learner-centered classroom. So by recognizing individual needs, tailoring interventions, and fostering positive um, relationship, teachers can create a supportive and productive learning environment where all students can thrive. This approach requires a paradigm shift from uniform rules to individual strategies, demanding greater investment in teacher training and collaborative supporting system. So this can lead to improve students' well-being, academic achievement, and a more equitable and inclusive learning experience. So moving on to the fourth type is the importance of timely resolution in all we can both relate to. So learner-centered classrooms prioritize students' agency and engagement. Well, however, maintaining a productive learning environment requires effective discipline. This report focuses on the critical role of timely resolution of disciplinary issues in learner-centered classrooms, emphasizing how swift and appropriate responses prevent disruptions and foster a positive learning atmosphere. So, timely resolution is a disciplinary matter of efficiency. It is a fundamental element of creating a successful learner-centered classroom. So, by employing proactive classroom management techniques, responding and prompting consisting to misbehavior, and utilizing non-punitive approaches, so that teachers can maintain a positive and productive learning environment where students feel safe, respected, and empowered to learn. So, this emphasizes the timely resolution underscores the importance of building strong teacher-student relationship and fostering a culture of mutual respect and responsibility. So we have the last type of the role of discipline in learning-centered classrooms is the importance of calm spaces. Calm spaces uh, encourages active participation and independent work. So this can, which can be challenging for students struggling with emotional regulation, frustration, anxiety, or sensory overload can lead to disruptive behaviors as students. Traditional disciplinary approaches focuses solely on punishment, diba? Or they are often ineffective in addressing these underlying emotional needs. So, calm spaces offer a crucial alternative, providing a supportive environment for students to regain composure and manage their emotions in which they can be comfortable, diba? So, meaning this can also be a supportive intervention. So, calm spaces are designed areas within the classrooms or school designed to provide a quiet and calming environment for students needing a break from the main learning area. So the benefits of calm spaces are improved self-regulation. Students can learn to identify and manage their emotion independently, reducing the frequency of disruptive behaviors, unwanted behaviors. Enhance classroom climate. A calmer classroom environment benefits all students, fostering a more positive and productive learning experience. So, another thing is stronger teacher-student relationship. The use of calm spaces demonstrate the teacher's commitment to students' well-being, strengthening the teacher and student relationship. So, in conclusion, in all that, in learning-centered classroom, discipline should focus on supporting students' well-being and emotional regulations. So all of these mentions provide a valuable tool for achieving everyone's goal as a teacher and as a student, offering a more supportive environment for students to manage their own well-being and re-engage in learning by integrating calm spaces and any other types that are mentioned into their disciplinary strategies. We can all create a more inclusive and effective learning environment for all students. So that is all for our report, for our topic in this topic. Thank you.